Here with head coach Mike Heimerman, the Demons and Lady Demons heading back to College Station for a second straight week. And coach, again, we talked about the familiarity last week of going to a place you've had some success. Now you go back there for the second time in 2 weeks. I guess you should feel right at home.
Yeah, I mean, the trip will be identical to last week. The time schedule is almost identical. So the only thing that's not identical is the gear that we're wearing, and then the meals that we're having and some of the events. So, but, everything should be secondhand, which, it's an awesome facility. We're gracious that we even get to go and run there. But, we're in the mix with a lot of events last week, and we'll be in the mix with a lot of events this week.
One of those who was definitely in the mix, or actually two of them, and sometimes when you look at them, you can't tell them apart, and that's Jaiman and Diamante Gums. Jaiman, now the indoor shot put record holder here in his first competition, recently named Southland Conference Field Athlete of the Week. But he and his brother there, I mean, that's quite a way to start your career.
Yeah, I mean, both those guys, if you haven't met them, they're full of energy. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's they're going to compete, and they're going to bring a lot of fun energy and get everybody hyped, I should say. But they're awesome. They're both great young men and very good students. I think they're both over 3.3, 3.4 GPA, and so they want to do very well on the academic side. But man, they both want to be very, very good throwers, and it's contagious. They got the throws group that's getting up there, and then like I said, they bring a lot of energy to the jumps group. Yesterday at practice, some of the jumpers have a little mock meet in the triple. And they're over there cheering for him and doing the clap for him and whatnot, and stayed for probably 20, 30 extra minutes when they could have left and stayed and kind of cheered those guys on. So they bring a lot of energy to the whole track team, and it's kind of nice because that's kind of something we've been missing on the men's side, and those guys are going to help build a nice big future for themselves and the team.
We won't see them triple jump, will we?
No, unless the triple jump, if maybe 40 feet could score in the triple jump. If that's the case, you might see them entered, but if not, no, they'll just stick to their two weight throwing shot put for indoor, and then they'll add the discus, and they'll swap the weight with the hammer for outdoor, but they can throw everything.
Well, you kind of had a very balanced performance. Some peaks pretty much across the board, whether it was men's track, women's field, men's field last week, which was probably the way you wanted to start your season. And again, step one to step two this week.
Right. We brought them back, half a week to almost a week early to start training before school started to get, back training. They were off for almost 4 full weeks. So you really don't know what they do when they go home. If they did half the training that we asked, that's not bad. But, it's all a work in progress towards the end of February when we go to the indoor conference championships. And so every week is just a building block. And, we ended up really pretty healthy after the meet. So that was our main goal. And, they've all been worked pretty hard this week. Today was going to be our last probably good day of weather, but the thunderstorm front came through a little sooner, and it's kind of shut us down already with lightning. In the next 2 days, I don't think it's going to really get above 40 degrees. So a lot of those kids don't like going outside and running. So we got a really hard Monday and Tuesday in, and today we started getting a hard Wednesday in. But it's all a work towards end of February and at the indoor conference meet.
We talked about some of the new faces on the women's side. Megan Shaw, a very good debut from her, third in the 400. But again, you talked about it last week, a loaded field that you guys faced on day 2 of the Ted Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, we were with all the big schools, and the same thing's going to happen this week. And, Megan's never seen an indoor 200-meter bank track, let alone ran on one. So, and that's very, very scary, one. And then 2, it's hard. We had a couple guys and women, and then Megan's one of them. I think she had a couple stumbles. Because when you come out those curves, if you don't know how to handle it just right, I mean, you're going to stumble. And that's what she did, and she still ran probably the fastest performance we've ever had for a freshman in the indoor history here at Northwestern State. So we've had a lot of great 400-meter runners here. So that just speaks volumes for her and her future here. But she's going to get better and better because the other good thing about Megan is she doesn't really know much about track. She didn't know the phenomenal Bowerman Award winner and probably the best female athlete in the world last year on the track. And she ran in the race, and she didn't even know who that was. So everybody else does. Even my throwers know who that is. But, she's just very, very new to this, and she's going to be a special, special person for this track program. So she's going to be fun to watch for the years to come.
We touched on it last week, and you got some female sprinters back who had kind of been a little bit dinged up last spring, whether it was indoor or outdoor, and Erica Lister and Linnell Washington. And good to see them getting back into form again, even as you build towards something farther away.
Right. Linnell had a great day. She ran one of her faster performances for us in the opening round. and then backed it up again in the finals. And she had a bad finals race. She didn't quite get out like she did in the prelims, but she has still had 2 7-4 races and looked really well. And she hasn't practiced a whole lot, so she should only get better. And then Erica, we warmed up. We didn't run her, but we warmed her up and took her on the meet so she could still get her treatment. But she's probably going to run this week. If she doesn't, I know in 2 weeks she'll run at Texas Tech. And she's actually starting to feel healthy again, and that's something we hadn't had in her in over a year. So that's very, very positive for us, and it helps the women sprinters and the morale with that group. With those two are both, one's a junior, the other one's a sophomore, and they're both special young ladies. Linnell was a conference champ last year. Erica was 3rd, and to get them both healthy, they could be 1-2 at conference this year, indoor and hopefully outdoor.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you.